here is, I guess this is, again, a new one for us, Spilling the Tea in Studio D. We are doing another On the Road. First time we've been in an Agri shop.
Yeah, I'm loving this location, even though I don't know what half of this stuff is, but it's pretty cool.
See that thing behind you? If you'll turn it on and pull it down, you can clip your nails with it. Try that and see.
And a finger and a wrist.
I don't
and
recommend
hand.
that.
Yeah, hey, the closer you get to your nail, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't want any accidents in here.
Yeah, really.
We've done pretty good about not having any, so
I won't touch
Yeah.
We wanna
anything.
keep that going.
I won't
Yeah, for
touch
Terry's
anything.
sake, we better not do that. Very honored to be at Centerpoint School District. We are in the ag shop, I guess you would call it. Terry Fendley. Jerry, not Terry. I don't know.
Yes,
Terry's he's a blast from the past. So,
Jerry, it's just the age.
yeah,
It's
it is.
just
It is.
the age.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jerry
trust me,
Fendley.
that's happening to me
Yeah.
more and more.
Yeah.
You're younger than both of us, so it's okay.
So Jerry, how long you been here at Centerpoint?
This is my 15th year here at Centerpoint.
Okay.
And it's my 20th year overall teaching.
Okay.
What?
Where were you before then?
I spent 5 years at a little school called OARC,
Yep.
north of Clarksville,
Yeah. Gotcha.
and also in the middle of the Ozark Mountains.
Yeah.
180 students, K through 12.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Right.
going from there to here was
Yeah.
an eye-opening
So
experience.
are they still a standalone school, or they go in with
After my
somebody?
first year of teaching, they administratively consolidated with Jasper and Kingston.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Where are you
yeah.
from originally?
Arkadelphia.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah. Know that place well, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
everybody I'm related to is Clark County, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
yeah.
You stay
Th-
close to home then.
This was getting back to home, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So as far as the Agri, is that something you always wanted to do? I mean,
Okay, you're getting a long story here.
that's all right.
Hey.
I actually graduated high school. I went to the University of Arkansas to be an engineer.
Okay.
So I actually have a bachelor's degree in biological and agricultural engineering.
Okay. Yeah.
And was most of the way through a master's degree in mechanical engineering.
Yeah. My son's one of those.
When I decided that I absolutely hated engineering.
Sure.
You would
Yeah.
have thought
Yeah.
somewhere before
4
you know,
years in.
Yeah.
well, at this point, 5.5 years
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, I was so far along. I already had the rough draft of my thesis written,
Gotcha.
and I
Yeah.
decided that I was going to walk away from it.
Right. Ooh.
Wow.
Wow.
And so I knew that I loved working with students,
Right. Yeah.
and I grew up in 4-H. Of course, Arkadelphia doesn't
Yeah.
have an ag program, doesn't
Right.
have FFA,
Mm-hmm.
so I did 4-H. My uncles and grandparents owned Helms Dairy outside of Arkadelphia, so I
Gotcha.
grew up around farming. You know, we raised show pigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I knew I loved agriculture, best of both worlds. And of course, my agriculture engineering background has helped me with the teaching and everything. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how much more, when you made the switch, how much more schooling did that require of you?
I went the non-traditional alternative licensure.
Okay. Yeah.
So back then it was, I think I had to pay, a small fee, go through so many weeks and days of professional development training,
Right.
pass the same praxis tests that a regular education major would.
Right.
And they said, here's your classroom, have at it.
Yeah.
So
So you get the best of
Yeah.
both worlds. Ag
Yeah.
again,
Yep.
hanging out with the
Well,
students.
yeah. It's kind of funny you say that. I mean, I have a radio television degree, and not that I didn't dislike radio at all. It helped me out a lot. But when I decided to go back teaching, and I'd heard of that program back then, and I thought, man, this is my ticket. I'm going to go back, teach, coach, whatever. And everybody I talked to, we're not hiring alternative licensure people, which they do a lot now, which I think is great.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went back and had to take, probably about another year and a half worth of courses. But once I got in there, the neat thing about that was I got a thing called television day trade. That's how out there it was.
That's how old you are.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I think I've got like a 2-page license with all the stuff that I got, endorsements and all this stuff in. But kind of like what you're saying, I realized, by being in the schools and being around kids, I really, kind of missed all that stuff and was able to get into it. So, but like I said, my son's a mechanical engineer. And actually, his wife is an industrial engineer, and there's no way I'd be bored stiff too. I mean, I just have to. I've got to have. I couldn't be fenced in.
Yeah.
I guess best thing I'd say.
Well, I guess until this year, the previous 7 or 8 years, I've also taught physics in addition to my agriculture classes.
Gotcha.
We had our physics teacher left, and they were like, who are we going to have teach our one class of physics? And they're like, okay,
Bingo.
Fendley will teach physics.
Right.
So, of course, the first year, the students were like, why are you teaching physics? I'm like, well, you see,
Yeah.
I'm actually more qualified than anybody else on campus, actually.
Right.
You're like, I did take physics once. Yeah.
A couple of them, actually.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
so as far as your teaching load now, what's it look like?
So I teach greenhouse management, plant science, agriculture mechanics, advanced agriculture mechanics, and structures.
Okay. So let's talk about that ag mechanics for a minute. What all does that encompass?
Not what you think.
Okay.
Everybody hears ag mechanics and they think that we're going to be working on small engines like lawnmowers and that sort of thing, or vehicles or tractors.
Right.
We do work on small engines some,
Right.
but it is basically kind of a smorgasbord of everything in a shop.
Gotcha.
So everything from electricity, woodworking, plumbing, surveying, concrete and masonry, painting, welding.
Wow.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you can do it in a shop, it's taught in ag mechanics, basically.
Okay.
My daughter, she graduated from Magnet, had Kristen Sheets. She was an
yeah.
ag completer, like loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just funny because one day she was like, yeah, we came home and welded today. She's like, yeah, I think my weld was like better than some of the guys that were in there. It was awesome. I was like, go Sarah.
Kristen runs a great program over
Yeah,
there at
she
Magnet
does.
Cove. Yeah.
She does. But
She's a good friend of mine.
Sarah enjoyed it. Now she's going into radiology tech, but she
Oh, cool.
absolutely loved ag. Like she got hooked in that first class and loved machines, and she just took everything, everything that was offered. She took.
You have that happen frequently with ag
Yeah.
programs
Oh,
where a student that you would not expect to
Right.
be an ag kid,
Right.
and for some reason or another they'll wind up in there for one time because of scheduling or
Yeah.
whatever, and they find out you know what, I really enjoy this, or I
Yeah.
enjoy the teacher or whatever, and they stick around.
Yeah.
I had a student here a few years ago. She was quiz bowl AP student, valedictorian of the school. Her senior year, never had taken an ag class. She took one, was going to be in there one semester, her fall semester. She dropped one of her other classes and took 2 ag classes her spring year, and was like, why did I not take ag before now?
That's awesome.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she literally is a pilot for an airline now.
Oh, wow.
So
So cool.
what she did in here had nothing to do with her career,
Right.
but she actually took welding in college
Yeah, I
for a
mean,
class
and-
because she loved it so much.
Yeah.
Right.
They learn
Yeah.
skills and
But there's a lot of applicable skills that we teach that
It was-
just for everything. It's life skills.
I was so impressed at the stuff. Like she built it was like a gumball machine. I mean, it was
Yes.
really so cool. And it was just very impressive.
So like the ag mechanics too is I take it as a little more advanced. I mean, they take it to the
advanced mechanics in Arkansas agriculture. We can tailor that course to whatever our school needs.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So some schools will use it for basically just getting more advanced,
Right.
doing bigger projects.
Gotcha.
What we do is we have a lot of CNC technology here in our ag program.
Gotcha.
So that course is predominantly just CNC. We have 2 what are essentially router-based CNC machines. Do woodworking. You can do plastic. You can do aluminum with it. 3-dimensional CNC work.
Right.
We also have 2 plasma CNC tables, so we can plasma cut metal with them. We also have 2 laser engravers, plus we have a couple of 3D printers,
Right.
and a vinyl cutter. So all of that kind of falls under CNC work, and so that's what we'll do in our advanced mechanics course.
Okay. CNC. What's that?
Computer numerical control.
Okay. Okay. I hear it a lot.
I hear it.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna put me on the spot and be like, "Oh, what does that mean?"
No. I
would've
mean,
been like,
I hear it a lot too, and,
Yeah.
and have heard it a lot around the ag world. But so now we know. So what was it?
Computer
Numerical.
numerical
Control.
control.
Okay.
They already forgot it.
So like my students, I teach them how to use our design software.
Yeah.
And so we're fortunate that our design software, whatever we design in there, can be used on all of our different CNC machines. We
Gotcha.
Support to all
Okay.
the different machines.
Yeah.
So it's really handy. But I've actually taken a certification course, and so I can certify my students with that software.
Oh, wow.
So whenever they finish their advanced mechanics course, if they've met all the different requirements, they can come out with a little bit of a certification, which, unless they're going somewhere that uses that specific software, it's ultimately not going to help them.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it shows, we've
Okay.
had some qualifications with it.
Right. So structures, I mean, that sounds kind of self-explanatory.
It
but
is.
Yeah.
It's geared a little bit more towards agricultural structures,
Right.
Because that's technically the name is ag structures.
Right.
Right.
So we cover pole barns,
Okay.
and that sort of stuff as well.
Right.
But we discuss, how do you frame a house? How do you do foundations? Roof lines.
Right.
We've got a piece of sheetrock over in the floor over there. We'll do a little bit of taping and mudding of sheetrock in the
Right.
course. We'll do a little bit of electrical work, maybe a little bit of plumbing. So the basics of how to frame a house, how to do some, plumbing and electric with it.
So have y'all, do y'all actually go out and build structures? Have y'all gotten to that point or had the opportunity to do that yet?
We don't do full-size structures generally.
Okay. Right.
I've had the thought, people have asked me, well, why don't you do, like build storage building or something like that?
Gotcha.
We have so many different places right here that build storage buildings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really see the need. Like if we built one,
Right.
it's like, okay, then what do we do with it? Because
Right.
it seems like everybody around here already has 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And so we will build a couple of full-size walls,
Gotcha.
and so they can see the full-size framing, and so they can
Gotcha.
hang full sheetrock. But something that we frequently do, we just went to 4-day week. We've been 5-day week
Right.
before. We just went to 4 days. So things are a little weird this year, trying to get used to everything. But a lot of so this year we're probably not going to get to it because the year's winding down in a hurry. But a lot of
Right.
years we'll build miniature houses. We'll do
Okay.
1/8 scale so they can see the
that's neat.
framing and everything. So we do that a lot of times.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on where the class is and
Right.
whatnot.
You hit on something. I mean, this is just what is the deal with the storage buildings? I mean, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. I don't know what the deal is.
I mean,
Everybody has so much stuff they have to
Everybody
store.
keeps
They're-
a bunch of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, they're either putting it in a you lock it place, or they're getting a storage building for their backyard.
or cabins. Now they've become
Yeah.
cabins.
Storage cabins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a
Oh,
cabin.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So, I guess high school here is at 9, 12. Is that when you start getting your kids ninth grade?
We
Is that
actually
right?
see ag students in the 8th grade here.
Oh, okay. Good.
So we have 3 ag teachers: myself, Mr. Crawley, and Mr. Minton. Mr. Minton teaches our survey course.
Okay.
It's our base entry level course.
Gotcha.
It is everything from shop, animal science, plant science, natural resources, FFA, Future Farmers of America.
Right.
So it covers a little bit of everything. And so that course our students can take in either the 8th or 9th grade.
Gotcha.
Once they've taken that course, then they can take any of the other ag courses, whether it's food science, animal science, ag metals, greenhouse management, structures, mechanics.
So, do you do the plant piece of it, or are you not?
Not in that survey course.
Okay.
He'll cover all of that.
Okay, gotcha. So, are you strictly like the hands-on mechanical kind of stuff, or do you get into the plant science, animal science, any of that? Or
Well, see, I do plant science and
Okay.
greenhouse management. So
Okay.
both of those we spend the bulk of our time in the greenhouse.
oh wow,
You know,
okay,
the kids prefer being in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
I prefer being in the greenhouse. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
spend most of our time out there.
Yeah.
But Mr. Minton, he'll teach animal science.
Gotcha.
And so, and it's not just strictly classroom based. We also have a
Right.
98-acre farm
right.
across
Oh
from
wow,
the school here.
Okay.
And so we have animals at the farm.
okay,
And he brings in an expert once a year for a week and teaches the class artificial insemination of cows.
oh wow,
And it's hands-on. Like they bring
Yeah.
the cows here. They do full hands-on AI. So it's
that sounds like
That's
something you'd be
awesome.
interested
Yeah,
in,
okay,
Candace, huh?
No.
Yeah.
so
Hey,
like-
your dad would be impressed.
Yeah, my dad, he has had cows forever, and he's had to deliver calves, and yeah, I've never had to do that, but I did have to help him when he used to do square bales.
Mhm.
We were kids and have to drive, but that was about it.
That's about it. You
I'm
were
not the
out
farm
after
girl.
that.
I was
right?
out. I'm like that. I'm done.
We actually had pigs, sheep, and goats all born at the farm this spring.
Oh.
Wow.
So over the last month or so, we've had all that going on
So,
over there.
so with those animals, I mean, do those eventually become show animals, or just depends? I guess.
It depends. Some of
Yeah.
them are show animals for the students,
Right.
and then other animals over there are strictly just our ag FFA herd
Right.
that we manage for the
Sure.
purpose of classroom
Okay.
teaching.
Yeah. Right.
So, do you have like, I guess several of your students, I guess what I'm trying to say, get into fields and find jobs here close that, kind of relate? I mean, are you able to?
It depends from year to
Depends.
year.
Mm-hmm.
We have students kind of get into a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say our biggest area might be electricity, actually. We have tons of kids that are always interested in welding. Welding seems to be like the popular thing.
Right.
And then whenever they get into the welding shop and they've spent, 6 or 7 weeks doing nothing but weld, they're like, this isn't quite as fun as I thought it
Yeah.
was. And you'll always have a
Yeah.
couple of students that
Sure.
are still
They
just
love
eating it up.
Yeah, that's their thing.
We have, there's one boy in particular in Mr. Minton's metals class. As soon as he walks in the door, he's asking, "Can we go to the welding shop?
Oh,
I really
that's
go weld."
awesome.
And he's in there until the
Yeah,
end of the period.
you're like that.
Right.
This is what
And
you're
that's-
supposed to do. Yeah, his
but
path.
but a lot of the other students, they decide, you know what, that's actually not what I want to do after
Right.
all.
Sure.
And a lot of them realize that to make really good money welding, you've got to travel.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's probably the thing that we struggle against the most. Our students don't want to leave.
Sure. Yeah.
Like they want to stay in the community.
Sure.
And so that makes trying to get them some of those jobs like a welder that can really travel, pipeline, really make some money. They're just not interested in doing that. So we actually turn out a decent number of students that go into electricity work.
Yeah.
But I love that. I mean, it's just so many different options and different things that they can experience and really find their path of what they love and what they want to do. So, that's
So the greenhouse, what do y'all predominantly do out there? I mean, is it a little bit of everything as far as what you're growing? You doing what's that, plantronics? The thing with-
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics, that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was
So you
spot
did
on.
exactly what I was talking about. You were close.
We do a little bit of everything in the
Right,
greenhouse.
yeah.
We actually grow every bit of the lettuce that our high school cafeteria uses.
Oh, wow.
And we have a hydroponic system that we're
Okay.
growing that lettuce in.
Gotcha.
So my students, they'll monitor the water quality, they'll mix the nutrients, they plant the lettuce seeds, they transplant lettuce into the system.
Wow.
They harvest it, take it to the cafeteria. Every Monday morning we're harvesting 5 bins of lettuce and taking to the cafeteria.
Wow.
Wow.
And so if you ever eaten in our high school cafeteria and have lettuce,
Yeah.
it's coming from our greenhouse.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And so, the cafeteria, they love it because the lettuce they're getting from us is always cleaner. It's always just in better shape. They don't
Yeah.
get rotten,
Yeah.
any bad lettuce
Right.
or anything,
Brown. Yeah.
It's all high quality
Yeah.
coming in there.
Yeah.
I guess must have been spring of, before COVID hit, spring of
Yeah.
2020. We actually got invited to represent ag schools at the state capitol.
Oh, wow.
And so we had a variety of projects we took to us, and we took one
Yeah.
bin of hydroponic lettuce. And so it was
Yeah.
6 heads of lettuce sitting in this bin. And the number of people that walked by and asked us why we had plastic lettuce, they all thought it was fake
Yeah.
because it is so pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's flawless
That-
looking. 'Cause
Yeah.
we rarely have any kind of bug issues.
Yeah.
We don't deal with disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Well,
it grows so well like that.
It's really hard to go pretty much any grocery store and find good lettuce. I mean, it's not like I'm a big vegetable connoisseur, but on the occasion that I do go shopping,
Yeah.
I mean, I find myself going, man, that's got brown. That's brown. It's tough.
So we also have hydroponic tomatoes as well.
Yeah.
So we have it looks just like a wall of tomato vines in the greenhouse. We plant those the first week the students are on campus in the fall.
Right.
So literally the tomatoes that are in there right now were planted, the middle to the end of August. We've been picking ripe tomatoes since before Christmas break.
Wow.
And so we're still picking.
Yeah.
We have our bell system keying in.
I like it.
I
we've-
Nice tone. Yeah.
I thought Candace had a thought.
But we've been picking tomatoes, since before Christmas break.
Yeah.
We picked some this morning.
Yeah.
We have to keep them pruned. Most people don't know you
Yeah.
actually should prune tomato vines.
Yeah.
So we prune them
Yeah, I didn't know
and
that.
train them on the trellis,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But then also in the greenhouse right now, we have all of our plants that we're getting ready for our spring plant sale.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been transplanting tomatoes and pepper plants that we'll sell for people's vegetable gardens.
Right.
We have hanging baskets of ferns and Spanish ivy and English ivy and wandering Jew, and we have petunia baskets and
Wow.
just a variety of flowers, marigolds, and
We're gonna have to get a tour
vinca
before we
and
leave.
stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the spring sale is. I mean, that's the big fundraiser, I guess, for you guys, or
Actually, it's not.
oh, is it not? Yeah.
It is a fundraiser.
Yeah.
It is. We'll have our spring plant sale April 22nd, and so we make a decent little bit of money off of it.
Right.
And so that goes to fund. We take students on various FFA trips.
Sure. Yeah.
Camps, conventions,
Gotcha.
contests, and so our students don't pay for anything.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's right.
Every student, if you're in an ag class at Centerpoint, your FFA membership is paid for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
At a lot of schools, those students are having to pay $17 to be a member.
Right.
Every student here, it's paid for.
That's awesome.
If you want an FFA jacket, one of the blue corduroy jackets, they cost $65. That's what any student pays to get one. Here at
Right.
Centerpoint, they're $10.
Wow.
If a student wants one, they bring us $10. Our FFA chapter pays for the rest.
That's incredible.
So the money we make off the plant sale, it goes towards it. We have a pie auction in the fall. The money we make off of that pie auction, it goes towards the same thing. Camps, convention, jackets,
Right.
news.
That's my kind of vegetable.
Yeah.
Pie.
Yeah.
It's actually our biggest fundraiser.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
We have tremendous community support.
Sure.
We do a barbecue supper,
Yeah.
free barbecue supper.
Sure.
Community comes in and eats and everything, and then we'll auction off, 50, 55 pies, cakes, cookies,
Wow.
and
Wow.
we'll make. I think this year we made a little over $10,000, and
Yikes.
Oh. wow.
our record's actually over $20,000.
Oh my god.
Dang.
Our community.
Listen,
Sure.
I mean, as
some
evidenced
good
by
pies. Yeah.
evidenced by our facilities,
Right.
our community really supports our ag program.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Historically, we've had a strong ag program for years,
Mm-hmm.
and we like to think that we've been improving on it
Yeah.
since then. But it's been strong for years upon years,
Yeah.
and all.
great.
So, we also host a practice career development event for FFA members. So it's everything from livestock judging, horse judging, electricity contest, forestry contest, wildlife, milk quality, all these different contests that FFA members compete in. We host a practice contest.
Gotcha.
And so this year we had, I think it was right at 1,500 students from all across the state of Arkansas here on campus
Wow.
this spring competing. And so that's another big fundraiser
Yeah.
for us.
Gotcha.
And so all that goes towards our students and
Yeah.
various things that we can do with them.
I bet that's no small undertaking.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
we enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm not even sure which one that is there that they do in the convention center. I've been there in Hot Springs. I've walked through that thing, where they're building, laying brick, all that stuff. It's crazy.
that's probably Skills USA.
Yeah, Skills USA, exactly. But man, they go. It's unbelievable the things. So I can't imagine having 1,500 kids here and processing that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had students everywhere. I mean, from high school campus, elementary campus, at our farm. We had them at the city park, or I guess not the city park, John Benjamin Park here, right outside of town.
So do you have a favorite area that you enjoy more?
CNC work.
For sure, huh?
Yeah. I love the fancy toys.
Yeah.
They're not toys, but
So see, look,
to me they are, because I love
Yeah.
working in the shop. Just anything in the shop, it's what I really dig. I love it, and so the CNC stuff. I just really enjoy.
So it's the best of both worlds, farm boy engineer.
Oh,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
It
what's
is.
like one of the? I mean, not I wouldn't say the coolest, but maybe something that's kind of sticks out in your mind. One of the coolest things the kids have
Produced.
built, made,
Yeah.
produced. Yeah.
Do you see the Night Sun?
Oh,
back there?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just half-inch MDF, compressed
wow.
sawdust,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look like.
Oh, it looks metallic.
It doesn't look.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's something that we built in class.
That's awesome.
If you're ever in our high school office behind our high school secretary's desk, we have a metal night head that has LEDs behind it, so it's
Oh, wow.
glowing purple behind it.
Yeah.
That's something that we built in class. I have a Razorback logo in my office that one of
Okay.
our students built.
Yeah.
So
So neat.
various signage and stuff. We'll put LEDs on things.
Yeah.
The students are actually making signs right now of their last name. We have a couple over here behind us. And so they get about 18 inches tall, 4 feet wide, and they can make
Yeah.
their name as big as it can fit on there.
Wow.
and they paint them up and take them home like that. So that's something the students really enjoy.
That's awesome.
We make wooden mallets. You make all the different parts and assemble them.
It's really awesome though, because like when Sarah was in ag, when my sister and I were trying to come up with something cool for my dad, and I got with Miss Sheets, and they did basically a huge metal H for his last name, and he put it on his gate at the entrance to. He loved it.
Yeah.
And of course, we paid for it to help fund some things for them, and it was really great.
Yeah. We actually have a local welder here, and he's asked us to cut out parts for him.
Oh,
And
wow.
so occasionally we'll cut out parts on our CNC machine for him, and of course he makes a donation to us, for our time and trouble.
Yeah.
But that's something the students get to work on as well.
So cool.
Just kind of a variety of stuff.
That's awesome.
That's probably the thing, honestly. Like you're asking, like, what's my favorite thing? That's probably honestly my favorite thing is the fact that every day is different. If you're an ag teacher,
oh yeah,
you don't do the same thing day after day, class to class.
Yeah.
We are all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's probably just the variety of it is really nice.
And I've said that many times about this career. That's where it kind of dovetailed with radio for me. I mean, it's and I got to have that. I got to have something different every single day. I couldn't do the routine day in and day out. So, and when you got the kid factor in there, hey, that's a guarantee.
Oh, it's always exciting.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Well, the thing is, though, is like I love working with our students.
Sure,
I really do. Like the students are like, really? I'm like, no, I like working with y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my best days are the days that I only deal with the students.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
I never have a bad day when it's just me and the students.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Those are always great days.
Yep.
So,
you're right.
The adults are the ones that always spoil things.
And just by looking around in some of these things here, and the creative side in me, I'm just thinking, man, what a joy that's got to be for you, because it's so it like you're saying. I mean, it's such a blessing in a lot of ways just to step back and let those kids create. And just to watch them, that process start to finish is like I said, it's just a blessing on a lot of levels.
So, and one of the things, like if I get tired with the project, next year we'll just do a different project, and it'll still teach the kids the same skills.
Sure.
Right.
It'll just be a different looking project.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So, as far as like in the summer, when schools closes up, I guess you would say. The greenhouse. So, do you have kids up here maintaining that, or does that fall strictly on you?
It depends.
Right.
It really does, and it depends from ag program to ag program.
Okay.
Ag teachers are on 12-month contracts, so we are employed during the summer, and so the bulk of the work, as far as taking care of the greenhouse, taking care of animals, just taking care of the pastures and stuff at our farm. Repairing things in the shop,
Gotcha.
or doing some organization, whatever. Most of that falls on us. Occasionally, like if we have something bigger going on, we'll recruit student help, and students will come in and will help with specific things. I know Mr. Carlo, like if he's working on grooming animals one day, and especially if it's any of the students' animals, the students will always be there helping with theirs.
Oh, yeah.
But then they'll help with all of the school herd as well.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a mix. Just kind of depends on what we have going on. On how much we have students here.
Okay.
Here it's been several years ago now. We had a pea patch over at the farm, and we had students here almost every day picking peas, purple peas, and we were selling peas.
Yeah.
And we hadn't done that in quite a while because we weren't able to irrigate. And of course, if you're farming and you can't irrigate, it's just it's terrible.
Yeah.
Because you just never know if you're going to have a crop or not. And so for us, it's just tough to put in all that work, not knowing.
Right.
But we've gotten some of the equipment and all to where we can do some irrigation and all now. So hopefully, if we can get our tractor repaired, we're hoping to be able to do some truck patching this summer, hopefully. So we'll see. We actually have, this is terrible, we have 900 strawberry plants over the farm right now. So we have the equipment to do it like a commercial operation would, laying the plastic mulch down. Students ride on this transplanter, and so they're transplanting the strawberries into plastic mulch. The plastic mulch is just plastic sheathing that's stretched over a raised bed. Okay, gotcha. And so we transplanted 900 strawberry plants into this patch, and we took care of them over the winter, had the row covers covering them and everything. And then somebody, I don't know who it was, forgot to cover them when we had that cold snap here
Oh no!
right at the beginning of spring break.
Oh, wow.
Oh no!
And so all of our strawberries that were looking so pretty
Yeah.
turned into like strawberry raisins. They
Oh.
all turned brown and black.
Yeah.
And the students, when they came back Monday and we went over there and looked at them, because I knew, because I checked on them a couple of times over the break.
Oh.
I was like, this isn't going to go well. And we went over there, and the students were like, what happened? I was like, they were mad at me. They're like, why did we not get over here and cover these up? I'm like, well, because somebody forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Buddy,
Yeah.
But
somebody forgot.
it's so tough because we have so many different things going
Sure,
on,
yeah.
trying to keep up with
Sure,
with
yeah.
everything.
Life
And who knew
lesson,
the
man.
weather was going to do that? I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
but it's something like if we're going to do that, we've got to do a better job
Yeah.
of keeping
Yeah,
close
sure.
around that.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a learning experience. I've never grown strawberries before in my life,
Yeah.
and that's one thing about being an ag teacher is we're not trained for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even I didn't go to college to be an ag teacher. but
Right.
even the teachers that do, a college can't prepare you for
Oh, no.
everything
No.
that
Right.
we deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Learn
I
along
mean,
the
because
way.
we have students with animals, so like we're,
Yeah.
they treat us almost like a veterinarian in a way. We
Right.
are not far from
Right.
it, especially me.
Sure.
But like if one of our students has a sick animal, they call us up first, and
Yeah.
so we'll deal with it if it's within our realm of knowledge. But
Right.
it's everything with animals and plants and shop stuff.
Sure.
So there's just so much to know.
Oh, yeah.
But that's part of why I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I'm a lifelong
well,
learner. I'm always looking for something
yeah.
to
For
study
sure.
and learn.
But hey, like I said, though, that's a great life lesson. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
hey, stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you live, you learn, you roll on.
Yeah.
So. But I would imagine, though, probably not, you don't have to do a whole lot of recruiting here. I mean, for this program.
Not a lot. Most of the students, they know what we have going on here for the most
Right.
part.
Yeah.
But there's some students that I recruit a bit of
Right.
what I call non-traditional students.
Sure. Yeah.
Just the students that they're not coming from an ag home. They
Right.
just we'll have some students that they are strictly band, athletics, quiz bowl, whatever. That is what
Yeah.
they do and love.
Exactly.
And I know they're a good student.
Yeah.
I'm recruiting them hard.
Oh, yes. Yeah, sure.
Because I want good students in my classroom too.
Right.
I love all
Oh,
my
yeah.
students, but
Yeah.
it's like I'll try to recruit other students in that don't take my class, even if they take Mr. Minton or Mr. Crawley's. I poach students from them too.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
That's awesome.
why didn't you take my class this year?
Exactly.
Like, well, we couldn't fit your class in my schedule. I'm like, well, you're going to take mine next year instead of
Yeah.
his, okay? And they're
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I do a lot of
great.
recruiting and blackmailing and
Right.
stuff to
Yeah.
get
Well,
students.
hey, whatever it takes.
Oh.
Well, we appreciate you coming in, but we also, before we wrap up, we like to just, kind of
Uh-oh, you're on the spot now.
some
No.
fun questions,
Get ready. No.
So in ag, this is I've been thinking this is going to be a good one that you'll answer. What's aside from just ripping your kids' hearts out and letting the strawberries die, what's something maybe an embarrassing moment that you can think of in your teaching career? One of your most embarrassing moments.
Most embarrassing moment. I don't know if I have a most embarrassing moment. I do have some crazy stories.
He's like,
Yeah,
which
oh, yeah.
one?
I mean,
Yeah.
my very first year of teaching, we actually had a student that we had to take to the hospital because we're at OARC. There's,
Oh yeah.
so we had to load him up into a car, in the
goodness.
school nurse's car, and drive him to the hospital.
Which was how far?
It was a 30-minute drive. It was like
Oh,
23 miles on
Yeah.
some of the curviest roads in the
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
And we got there, and I'm sorry about this. Literally, we walked in, and the nurse hands the boy a cup and turns to me and goes, "We need a urine sample from him." And the boy was unable to stand on his own at this point.
Oh wow.
And so literally I had to hold the boy up by the back of his overalls. So that is one of the
Welcome to teaching.
Dedicated teacher.
first year
right
teaching.
there.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I want.
Yeah. Wow.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're not gonna say anything that
Yeah.
hadn't been said on this podcast.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly
Talked
right.
about a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So we always too we talk about like music. Obviously, that's radio guy. So we hop in your vehicle, ride around. What we're gonna find on your playlist?
It's easier to tell you what you're not going to find on my playlist.
All right, hey, you're my kind of guy.
I love music, always have.
Right.
I have a big speaker here in the shop.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time, if the students are currently working on a project and I'm not
Right.
having to actively teach,
Yeah.
Right.
if they're busy, you know, currently working on something, and I'm just having to
Right.
go around, you know, checking on things.
Yeah.
The music's playing. You know,
Right, yeah.
Now, if I'm having to give direct instruction to everybody, you know,
Yeah,
keep it
sure.
turned off or whatever. But
Yeah.
if everybody's just head down working,
Right.
the tunes are going to be on. The students, you know, work better. But if it's not screamo
Yeah.
or electronica,
Yeah.
you're going to hear it on my playlist.
Right,
And
yeah.
so, like, the students are like, "What in the world is this playlist?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's."
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's
it's
random,
literally
yeah.
everything from classical, rock, rap, country,
Oh, yeah.
bluegrass, blues,
Yeah.
I love
jazz. It
everything
is
too.
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So
Well, yesterday we were coming back from Little Rock, Candace and I, and we had our administrative assistant in the back seat, and we're like, "Hey, you know this song?" She's like, "No."
She's young.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's in her
we're-
30s, and then we really felt old.
Yeah.
So,
And, you know, Tone Loc Wilds thing, and we're singing it. We're like, you know
You
this?
know Tone
She goes,
Loc?
she's like, "Wild Thing, you make my heart sing."
Yeah,
I'm like,
it
oh Lord, no, just forget it. You know,
she's
so-
gonna get you for telling that.
Yeah, but I guess what we hook her in on? AC/DC.
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
know some AC/DC.
Yeah, shook me all night long. She
Yeah.
knew that one. So anyway.
literally this morning, like I get to listen to like 2 songs on the way from my house to here. 'Cause I live so
Yeah.
close. Literally, the first song was Casey Donahue Band, which is Red Dirt Country.
Yeah.
And the next
Yep.
song was Snoop Dogg. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like-
hey, there you go.
it's
yeah.
it's all over the place.
yeah, yeah.
You know, just I'm trying to think of just some random stuff, but I could just tell, like talking to you, got such a heart for kids, and you know, we talk a lot about fewer and fewer people getting into the teaching profession. And
Yeah.
so, if you were to give, you know, if you've got teachers out here watching this, I mean, what advice would you give just of why they should get into the teaching profession? What just
You have to absolutely love students.
Right.
Every teacher has said this for years and years that there's more paperwork, there's more hoops
Yeah.
to jump through, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm getting older that it feels that way, or if it
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like teaching has gotten harder
Sure.
in year 20 than it was in year 5.
Right. Yeah.
Now, granted, those first couple were rough.
Sure.
yeah.
I was not a good teacher for the first 3 or 4
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Oh yeah. I still apologize to those kids.
Yeah, I do too. I'm still in touch with several of the ones.
Right. Yeah.
But you've got to absolutely love students. If you
Sure.
don't love working with students,
Yep.
you're just not going to make it.
Yeah. That's right.
Or you're not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
But random stuff like I love students, and I'm not married. I
Right.
don't have kids. This
Right.
is
Yeah.
you know,
These
the
are your
job
kids.
is
These are your
these are my
kiddos.
kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I announce all the football games. So you know, if you come to a Centerpoint football game, you're going to hear me on the intercom.
Right.
You know, I introduce senior night. I read off all the scripts for
Right.
homecoming, all of that sort of stuff.
Right.
So you just never know.
Yeah. Right.
I'm involved in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a Pike County Justice of the Peace. I'm on the quorum court
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
for the community.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think you know you're right. I mean, number one, you do. You have. I mean, you've got to love kids, and second of all, you just got to. You know, I think the thing that still that excites me is the fact that you know the inspiring the passion in that next generation.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, finding.
And you've got to have a lot of patience as
Oh,
well.
for sure.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And for adults as much as the students.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you do. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just. I think that's with any job though that
Yeah.
you've got to be able to get along well with others.
That's right.
And so
You writing that down, Candace? So I'm just.
I wasn't directing that at you.
Yeah.
I was. So.
Listen.
but,
Don't listen to him.
Yeah. Well, again, we appreciate you letting us come in
Yes.
and visit today, man. This is probably the best atmosphere for sure.
Yeah,
that yeah, you know. So you can still trim. If you want me to trim them, I'll be happy to. So
You do not want me touching the saw.
well, okay.
I do know that's a saw.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's true. Well, you have learned something today. Well,
So like that table saw behind you, it has flesh detecting technology in it.
yeah, hey.
So it actually won't cut you.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
That is
So
There you go.
That's my kind of saw.
That's
I
the
mean,
kind of saw.
really, like, there is so many different things that we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really, y'all have just kind of scratched the
Yeah.
surface on,
Yeah.
on
You,
what
hey,
we have.
you think I'm joking? When I was in 7th grade, the shop teacher at Cutter Morning Star was missing 2 fingers. That hey, you can't write that stuff. That's the
Oh.
absolute truth.
Oh,
So,
oh.
I mean, welcome to shop.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't want anything like that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. And there's a country song in there somewhere. I just hadn't taken long enough to write it, but I will one day. All right. Well, we appreciate it. And
Yes,
again,
enjoyed it.
Yeah. So
Y'all are welcome back anytime.
okay,
yeah,
thanks.
we'll have to get the tour before we
That's-
head out.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Spilling the Tea in Studio D.